Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, 500 police officers to get increments. We'll tell you who qualifies for the salary increases. It's almost moving day for straw vendors. We'll tell you what they'll be doing tomorrow in preparation. And your news leader goes high def. All those stories and more straight ahead in the Bahamas tonight.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
Good evening and welcome to ZNS News, the National Report. I'm Kishla Adderley. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping the news tonight, before next summer, you'll be watching ZNS television in high definition. That's one of the components of the digital upgrade, which should be complete by May. In this report, Clint Watson gives details of the plan, which complements the transition to public service broadcasting.
Come late 2012, just 5 short months away, with a flip of a switch, ZNS TV 13 will no longer broadcast as you know us, in analog.
And 3, 2, and cue her now.
This is ZNS News Live. Good afternoon. I'm Kishla Adderley.
Instead, the rebirth of a new state-of-the-art high-definition broadcast quality and top-notch programming will become the staple of the national broadcaster. Minister with responsibility for broadcasting, Tommy Turnquest, says it's all the result of a $5 million digital upgrade and transformation.
KIT Digital, a publicly traded digital integration company with significant expertise and assets, has been awarded a $2.4 million contract to design, engineer, and install ZNS's television facility here in New Providence. An additional $2.6 million has been approved for the acquisition of a mobile TV vehicle, the digital upgrade of ZNS television facilities in Grand Bahama, supplemental works necessary to accommodate the upgrade, and staff training.
In fact, as it stands now, when it's all done, ZNS will be the only newsroom in the country to integrate its IT upgrades with newsroom software and broadcast in high definition. This will further place the BCB among the leaders in the region with HD capabilities.
ZNS will now be able to operate with state-of-the-art digital television equipment to provide ZNS's national audience with video and audio capabilities more in keeping with current television industry standards. Bahamians everywhere should benefit appreciably from the improved digital television quality.
The BCB will be converting from analog, the lowest in technology, to HD, the highest there is right now on the market. This means the corporation will actually be skipping a whole generation of technology that it missed over the years. Regional Managing Director of KIT, Louis Schwartz, says they realize it's a big change, but they're prepared to ensure the next 3 to 6 months are revolutionary as they launch the next generation broadcast experience.
We know this is a big change that you're embarking on. I know you've been waiting a long time. We've been waiting a long time to sort of participate in this journey with you, and are privileged to have such a strong, monumental customer in the Caribbean with ZNS.
Executive Chairman Michael Moss acknowledged that the upgrade is the second major investment in broadcasting for 15 years. The first investment, he noted, was under the F&M during its first administration. He says it will alleviate years of headaches at the corporation. And with that in mind, General Manager Edwin Lyburn says staff must be ready to upgrade also.
In the last several months at the Broadcasting Corporation, our problems have been equipment problems. It is therefore a pleasure today to see that we will be signing a contract that should eliminate the equipment problems, and we can then more conscientiously focus on people issues.
We have a lot to learn, and we have a lot to do. And we have a short time to do it in, but I know we're up to the challenge. In fact, I welcome it. We are now about to embark on forging a new path in broadcasting for others to follow. That is our history. That is our legacy.
To say the staff here at the BCB is excited and ready to go is an understatement. For years, employees have been lobbying for systems that not only can match their level of capabilities and talents, but will enhance the critical job that the national broadcaster carries out. But perhaps the best news all day was hearing that the upgrade to the first and only news leader begins right now. Clint Watson, ZNS News.
4G has come to Grand Bahama. A launch took place on the island this morning. Our Sabrina Brown was there.
Welcome to 4G powered by BTC. Better speed, better network, better value.
It is now official. With the touch of a screen, BTC's 4G network was launched on Grand Bahama, and residents on this northern island are now up to speed with the latest in technology. CEO Jeff Houston said the 4G network is a $43 million investment, and the plan is to bring all of the islands online as quickly as possible.
Very excited about the market for Grand Bahama. You know, we're very keen to get as much coverage in place before Christmas, because we recognize there's significant demand in the market for 4G. In terms of our overall business, we believe that the Family Islands and Grand Bahama represent a significant growth opportunity. We feel that there's huge customer demand that we're not servicing, that we're going to get to, and we're going to try our hardest next year to make a difference to those customers, so it's a significant part of our business.
But Houston said this launch is just the beginning of bigger things to come for Grand Bahama.
This facility we're standing in, we will be deconstructing all this first week in January, and we expect by end of January we'll have a brand new store here in Pioneers Way, and then we're going to roll out probably another 3 or 4 new stores in Grand Bahama.
Vice President of Marketing Marlon Johnson said this new high-speed network changes the way BTC customers communicate.
On the voice side, they'll get much clearer, crisper calls, better coverage, but the real excitement really is on the internet side. What we're telling people in essence is that you get the kind of service you're used to in your office or at home, you can now get it on your phone, which means that you can download applications in a second. You can send files, big files, whether it's work files or video or whatever. You can upload them to Facebook in a flash. You can actually stream live TV.
Now, according to Johnson, some customers who purchase phones outside of BTC may experience challenges with compatibility.
You have to make sure that their device is compatible with not only our 2G network, but with our 4G network as well. Because we have the situation where people buy devices, it works on our 2G network, but when they try to now get the high speed, it doesn't work. That's nothing to do with BTC. We don't block phones, we don't do anything, but it's important that the phones that are made, that if you buy your phones from someplace else, it is your responsibility to make sure that it's compatible.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS News.
10 years and 2 fires later, straw vendors are just hours away from moving into new permanent accommodations on Bay Street. Stall assignments were issued today, and by tomorrow, straw vendors will start preparing to make the first sales from the $12 million 430-stall market this week. Fern Carey reports on how they feel about finally having a place to call home again.
In just a matter of days, straw vendors will be moving into the new straw market. And just moments ago, many of them received letters certifying their place in their new home.
Marlene Fritz, Elizabeth Glass, Aiden Harboin.
The process reportedly started Monday on Woods Rogers Wharf, where many vendors relocated after Hurricane Irene destroyed the temporary straw market tent in August. More than 100 vendors received letters. First Assistant Secretary at the Ministry of Works, William Munnings, says others who want a stall will first have to qualify.
Those who have completed paying up to 11, that is both business license and national insurance.
45% of vendors are reportedly compliant with their national insurance payments, along with an up-to-date business license. Munnings talked about how the stalls were assigned.
The stalls, the authority dealt with them as a board. What they looked at the person, we went from number 1 straight down to the total number. And as we go from number 1, if the person qualified, then they would assign a number to match the person. If when we would have gone to, like say, if I say Mary has 45, Mary was not up to date, we would consider them not qualified and move to the next one.
Now, since the straw market fire back in September of 2001, vendors have not had a permanent home. And some vendors were also impacted by the December 2nd fire, which destroyed the Pompey Museum downtown. Now, longtime vendors Miriam Wright and Christine Curtis are looking forward to their new home.
I'm very happy that I got my letter. And wherever I'm at, I'm grateful. So it doesn't matter.
But I'm very happy. I can't complain because every day I had to bring these things out here and carry these things home. I finally don't have to do that anymore. I can come to work and I can close up my shop. And I say, thank you, Jesus.
Phyllis Wims is telling a different story.
I'm not happy where they put me because I've been in here when I was paying 15 cents for stall. And I should have at least a better place in where they put me. In the back. Down over in the back aisle. And I don't like that area at all. And people who just come in the straw market, they put up in the front and things.
The straw market is expected to open for business at 7 a.m. Friday morning. Fern Carey, ZNS News.
Now, vendors have been given 2 days' notice to move their belongings from the Prince George Wharf, where they're currently selling their wares.
They are required to be moved from the dock by midnight on Thursday night, which is the 15th. The market will be open for business, not business, but they will be open for the movement into the market at 1 o'clock on Thursday, right? So we are putting it in the newspaper, speaking to ZNS. We want the general public to know that we gave the vendors notice, and they are to remove all of their personal belongings and their goods from the market by 12 o'clock on Thursday.
Now, Chipman also talked about the rules governing straw vendors in the new market.
We're not requiring them to use to wear a uniform. What we require them to do is to look presentable to the public. As far as the rules and regulations in the market, there will be no smoking in the market. Each vendor are required to keep their area clean. All right. And there will be a cleanup session every evening after the market closes at 8 o'clock. And they will be required to wear ID badges, which we are in the process right now getting that in place. They can probably use their old ID badges until we replace those badges.
Tourism officials say the Christmas season is forecast to be a good one for the cruise industry. According to the Director of Cruise Ship Development, Carla Stewart, cruise arrivals are expected to be up.
We're expecting cruise arrivals to be up once again this month. December is usually one of our peak months, and from what we've seen, all indications, the bookings are up and the increases are expected. This year overall has been a great year for us, so December is really going to be a peak month once again.
Well, as they continue building their multi-billion-dollar project, Baumar is demonstrating its eco-friendliness through work being done near eco-sensitive areas. Baumar developers say they want to lessen the impact of the resort's construction on the land in protecting what they consider irreplaceable natural treasures, including the wetlands. Overseeing the eco areas and cleaning up near surrounding lakes and woodlands is Environmental Response Concepts Limited Senior Technician and Project Manager James McPhee.
Presently, right now, we are undertaking a scope of work that entails cleaning up this lake edge, Hobbyhorse lake edge for our client, Bahama. This is expected to take us 4 weeks. We are doing all of this work here manually. There will be no mechanical equipment such as bulldozers, tractors, and that type of stuff. This is an eco-sensitive area, and this is also a historical lake to the Bahamas. You know, right across the street was the Hobbyhorse racetrack, and there are a lot of sentimental moments that took place in this vicinity. So we were asked by our client to do it as eco-sensitive as possible. So currently right now we have 15 guys in here. We intend to increase that by now and the middle part of next week.
Now, you may remember that part of the area Baumar is securing is the historic Hobbyhorse Hall Lake. That is just one of the environmental areas of the 71.4-acre wildlife and wetlands. Baumar is also working to preserve bird life living in these areas. Already $1 million has been earmarked to fund the infrastructure of the wetlands with boardwalks and signs which will allow Bahamians and visitors to enjoy the beauty of the area. Environmental Specialist Pericles Melis.
This is much more than a job that you all are engaged on. You're doing something which is going to be one of the most looked at and famous projects in the whole history of the Bahamas. Everybody is going to go up and down this road all the time, Bahamians and visitors, and this is going to be one of the prettiest drives in our whole country. And it's going to be famous because it's going to shock the public when they come through here. And on the one hand is job-creating infrastructure, and on this side is going to be quite a lot of nature and beauty and wildlife.